Ah, the sweet and bitter art of being treated like a digital ghost.
You send a hopeful message and nothing, or even worse. She sees it and completely ignores you, as if you were just another annoying pop-up ad. You try to start a conversation, and all you get is a flat, uh-huh, devoid of soul or any hint of effort. And the most baffling part? She once seemed interested. Now, you're nothing more than an indistinct blur on her radar. But hey, don't lose hope. She's online. She chats with others. Her stories are filled with cheerful laughs. Yet for you, absolute glorious silence. And then the sting hits. You invested your time, gave your attention, even entertained the thought that something might spark. Now you're left staring at your phone, wondering where you went invisible. If you've been there, congrats! You just earned a premium ticket to the School of Heartbreak. But relax, because today you're about to learn the best revenge against this ridiculous charade. And no, it doesn't involve throwing a tantrum, ranting in long texts, or desperate attention-seeking moves. This strike is far more refined, surgical, and when it lands, it's going to sting. And the best part? You won't have to lift a finger. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to make her regret treating you like a mere backdrop. And when that moment comes, the only question left will be, do you still want to waste your time on her? So buckle up, because today you're learning how to turn disregard into respect. But first, let's get one thing straight. This video reached you because someone before you had the decency to like and subscribe. So stop freeloading on free content and return the favor hit like, subscribe, and drop a thank you in the comments. It's not for me, it's for the algorithm. Only then will this message reach more lost souls in need of a reality check. Alright, enough chit-chat. Let's get down to business. Son, number 1, what most men do and how they only embarrass themselves further. The first reaction of a sucker when a woman ignores him? Trying to fix the problem. He convinces himself it was a technical glitch. Maybe she didn't see my message, and sends another one. Then he starts making excuses. She must be busy, I'll wait a bit. But as time ticks by without a reply, despair sets in. That's when the humiliation reaches Olympic levels. The guy sends yet another message, now with a needy tone straight out of a telenovela. He asks if everything's okay, if he did something wrong. Perhaps he even tries to be funny, cracks a lame joke, sends a silly sticker thinking it'll break the ice. But you know what really shatters him? His remaining dignity. Because none of that works. Her silence remains deafening. Then, in a not-so-brilliant decision, he doubles down, liking all her photos, commenting on every post, replying to her stories, anything to show he's still there, like a dog waiting by the door for its owner. And what happens? Nothing. Or worse, she notices his desperation, and his already rock-bottom self-worth sinks even further. And then comes the classic desperate masterstroke, trying to make her jealous. He posts a pic with another woman, pretends he's super busy, hoping that when she sees it, she'll care. But guess what? It works about as well as a leaky umbrella in a hurricane. Why? Because all this only proves one thing. He's still emotionally available, still chasing after her, still trapped in the illusion that winning someone over is just about effort and persistence. The truth is, a man who needs to prove his worth will never truly be valued. Here's the harsh truth. If you have to convince a woman to like you, you've already lost. Because a real man of value doesn't beg for recognition. But hey, if you've already been through all that, there's no need to curl up and cry along with Adele. Most guys have fallen into this trap at least once. The key is to recognize the mistake and learn never to be an idiot again. And the first step to turning things around is understanding what really makes a woman interested or dismisses you like an old flyer. It's not pretty messages, not persistence, not over-the-top attention. The game of attraction is far more sophisticated than that pathetic little show. Now let me explain exactly how it works. Number 2, the cruel truth about women and attraction. If there's one thing you need to engrave in your mind about female attraction, it's that it doesn't follow your little pink world logic. You think that by being caring, showing interest, proving you're an amazing guy, she'll look at you and say, "Wow, what a wonderful man, I'll give him a shot." But nope, women aren't moved by sweet words. They don't fall for promises. And they definitely don't choose the guy who's always there, waiting on a silver platter. They choose what makes their heart race. And you know what the most addictive thrill in the game of attraction is? Uncertainty. If a woman is 100% sure you're there, available 24/7, always ready to reply at the drop of a hat, always waiting for her. Congratulations, you've become part of the furniture. Because there's no mystery, no challenge, no butterflies wondering, does he really like me? Is he interested or just being polite? Now, when a guy maintains his emotional composure, when he doesn't panic, when he doesn't act like a needy puppy wagging its tail, he becomes something rare. And anything rare is valuable. Want a practical example? Think of a Lamborghini. If anyone could get one, nobody would care about a Lamborghini. What makes it special? Scarcity. Few have access, and that creates desire. Now look at you. If you act like any other desperate guy, chasing attention, you're nothing more than a beaten-up economy car, always stuck on display, with no value. But if you make yourself scarce, if you stop being constantly available, if you act with cool detachment and control, suddenly you're the Lamborghini. That's why when you chase, insist, try to explain, or prove you're a nice guy, you're just sabotaging your own worth. You're the one wrecking your value. The brutal truth is, women don't respect words. They respect actions. If you want a woman to see you differently, it's not about talking more, not about trying to convince her. It's about changing your behavior. And now, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. Because the best revenge on a woman who ignored you isn't arguing or proving yourself to her. It's vanishing from her life in a way she never expected. Number 3, the secret to the ultimate revenge: absolute indifference. Now that you finally understand how attraction really works, and not in that ridiculous way you once thought, it's time to flip the script. And do you know what the most lethal weapon is against a woman who dissed you? Silence. Absolute indifference. No long-winded texts, no begging for explanations, no pathetic attempts to prove your worth. Want to know how to crush her ego? Just vanish. No drama, no tantrums, no theatrics. Most suckers do the complete opposite when they're ignored. They try to grab attention sending messages, liking photos, interacting on stories. Basically, they lower themselves even further. And that only makes it clear that they're still available, ready to be used whenever she feels like it. But when you disappear without warning, without a goodbye, without a hint of desperation, something starts to shift in her mind. At first, she won't care. She might even feel relieved. Finally, that guy's gone. But then, time passes, and doubt creeps in. Wait, why didn't he follow up? Why did he vanish so easily? And that doubt starts to bug her, because in her head you were just another predictable, desperate guy, a walking fan club. But now, out of nowhere, you're gone. Then comes the insecurity. Did he find someone better? And that's when the game begins to change. Because if there's one thing a woman's ego despises, it's the feeling of being forgotten. Constant validation fuels her self-esteem. And when you vanish without leaving any trace, without making a scene, without showing that you're shaken, you put her in a place she hates: uncertainty. She expected you to chase her. She expected you to come running like everyone else. But now she's left staring at her phone, wondering, does he still care? And the best part? You can't fake it. You've got to really move on. That means cutting off all contact. No messages, no likes, no stalking her stories. You have to vanish from her life as if you never existed. And more importantly, focus on yourself. This isn't just about disappearing. It's about evolving while you're away. So instead of wasting time wondering what went wrong, Invest that time in becoming a better man. Hit the gym. Upgrade your style. Focus on your work. Expand your social circle. Transform into the best version of yourself. Because when you truly start valuing yourself, when you improve your appearance, mindset, and confidence, something magical happens. Not only do you become more attractive to other women, but ironically, even the one who ignored you might take notice. And suddenly, without you doing a single extra thing, no extra messages, she'll reappear. A "Hey stranger" message, a like on a photo, a casual comment. But now, the question isn't whether she still wants you, it's whether you still want her. And if you played the game right, the results might just surprise you. And if you're tired of being her court jester, her doormat that accepts every scrap and gets kicked aside whenever she feels like it, then wake up, you fool. It's time to stop swallowing disrespect and turn this dirty game around once and for all. Check the description and grab the digital book I've left for you. After reading it, you'll finally learn how to become a real challenge, never lower your head again, and best of all, how to put any woman in her place without a shred of pity. No more being trampled on, ignored, or treated like a worn-out rag. If you want respect, you've got to give it to yourself first. Number 4. She came back? Here's what you need to do. When that moment comes, you need to be ready not to mess it all up. She might send the classic "Hey stranger," randomly like one of your photos, reply to a story just to test your reaction, or even come up with a pathetic excuse like, "I saw something that reminded me of you." And what is she really doing? Testing the waters. She wants to see if she still has power over you, to check if you're still that predictable sucker who lights up just because she decided to show her face. Now, there are 2 responses that will catapult you right back to being the fool. Replying too quickly. If she says hi and you respond within seconds, all hell breaks loose. You just proved you're still emotionally available, that nothing's changed, that all that talk of evolution was just empty noise. In trying to get revenge in an immature way. Some guys think the best response is to act cold or arrogant, like, "Oh, so now you want me?" They think they're being superior, but in reality, they only show that they're still emotionally affected by her. So, what's the right move? First, control your anxiety. Don't reply immediately. Wait a few hours, maybe even a whole day. That already creates a huge impact. When you do respond, be polite, but keep it cool. Something simple like, "Hey, what's up?" No emojis, no over-the-top excitement, no hint that your world depends on this conversation. And if she wants to talk, let her put in the effort. Don't serve up your attention on a silver platter. Keep your responses short and direct. Now it's her turn to make an effort. And most importantly, don't go back to the old game. If before you were that doormat available 24/7, always chasing after her, now the dynamic has shifted. You are the prize. If she wants to see you, if she suggests a meetup, now you have the power of choice. You can agree, but don't rush it. Don't make it seem like you've been waiting your whole life for this moment. Make it clear that your life is busy, that you have other priorities. This isn't a game. It's the reality of a man who values himself. And here's the icing on the cake. When she realizes you've changed, that you're no longer that emotional welcome mat, her interest will be reignited. But now the question isn't whether she wants you. The question is whether you still want her. And if you played this game right, if you truly focused on growing, improving, and becoming a more confident man, the outcome might just be surprising. You might not even care about her anymore. And that, my friend, is the real victory. Number 5. The true power of self-valuation. Now that you finally know how to flip the script with a woman who ignored you, it's time for the most important lesson of all. Because at the end of the day, this isn't about her. It's not about making her regret it. It's not about getting back at her. This is all about you. Here's the raw truth. If you still need a strategy to get revenge on a rejection, it means that rejection still stings. And a man who truly values himself doesn't dwell on the past like a resentful teenager. Self-value means that if a woman ignores you, you simply move on. No drama, no bitterness, no need to prove anything. Because the biggest mistake a man can make in any relationship or any interaction with women is putting himself in a position of need. Now think about it. How many times have you worried too much about what a woman thinks of you? How many times have you altered your behavior just to impress someone? How many times have you sacrificed your time, energy, and peace of mind trying to please someone who clearly didn't give a damn about you? Now imagine if all that energy had been invested in yourself, in your growth, in your evolution, in your well-being. Here's the crucial point. A man who values himself is never disregarded. Women might test, they might even try to manipulate, but they can sense from a mile away when a man has standards, when a man refuses to settle for anything less, when a man isn't afraid to lose. And that's exactly why the best revenge isn't about disappearing for a while and then chasing her down when she comes back. The true revenge is becoming such an awesome, confident, and accomplished man that you simply no longer need her. This doesn't mean you need to become cold or unapproachable. On the contrary, it means you only give your attention to those who truly deserve it. Because when you value yourself, something incredible happens. You no longer have to chase after anyone. Women come to you. Opportunities arise, and that desperate need for approval just evaporates. Now stop and reflect. If the woman who ignored you came back today, what would you do? Would you take her back immediately, as if nothing happened? Or would you look at her and wonder if she's still up to par with the man you've become? That's the true transformation. And that's what separates average men from those who truly master the game of attraction. If there's one thing you need to take away from this video, it's this. A man who values himself never has to chase anyone. If a woman ignored you, dismissed you, treated you like an afterthought, the worst thing you can do is to keep trying. Don't try to convince her. Don't try to prove anything. Just vanish. Because silence speaks louder than any explanation. Because absence carries more weight than any word. And while you're away, focus solely on one thing: becoming a better man. Because at the end of the day, the true victory isn't about making her come back. The true victory is when you become so confident, so independent, so centered that you simply don't care whether she returns or not. Because now, you're on a whole different level. You've grown, you've evolved, and maybe, when she finally realizes it, it'll be too late for her. So tell me, do you want to be the guy crawling for attention or the one that people chase after? If you chose the latter, then you already know what to do. Before you go, drop a comment below. Have you ever tried this strategy? What happened? I want to hear your story. If this video opened your eyes, subscribe to the channel and share it with that friend who needs to learn this lesson before being a sucker again. See you in the next video.